All right, traders, good morning and happy Monday. Happy November, by the way, also. I hope everybody enjoyed the weekend, and also along with that, Halloween. Hope everybody got their fair share of candy in. Hopefully no cavities. Great to see Nabil. I'll be showing off some artwork from Nabil actually later on today. Thank you so much, by the way, Nabil. Charles, Lawrence, Rich, you got all of us here just joining us inside our live trading room. Give me a sound check just to begin there. Let me know if you got me here loud and clear, as well as on social media. Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Popping up lower left right in front of my avatar right there. But subscribe right down below to our YouTube channel if you are not already, at Cyber Trading U. Got the hot tag late from Fausto here. He's just finishing up a video that he'll be posting actually coming up at some point this morning on our social media channels right there, and as well, of course, inside our live trading room. Be on the lookout for a post from him. But listen, guys, we got a lot to talk about here today, coming off the weekend, coming off the Fed meeting. Even before that, we were coming off the CPI report prior to that, so reeling off just the whole market move that we've had. We also have a bunch of earnings coming out this week, so we'll drag out the earnings calendar here for you in just a moment. But also keep in mind, for our students here, we're kind of back into our normal routine, right? Because we had our Traders Summit event, we had our Money Show event in Orlando. So it kind of mixed around the class schedule a bit, kind of mixed around our Traders Talk schedule a bit. We're back on Mondays, folks. Keep in mind, as we normally do, Traders Talk Monday, today, inside this live trading room, as well as on social media. We do this live workshop every Monday. We normally do it. So last week, small little, rescheduling, and we had to do what we had to do there. But otherwise, though, we're right back on our Monday schedule. If you have any questions, any trades, send it right on over to my email address, josh@c2trading.com. That's my handle right there. I'll post that as well if you're on YouTube right now, just in the chat, because we'll be simulcasting as well on YouTube. So join us at noon Eastern, shortly after noon, I should say, 12:05 Eastern will begin. And, just again, any questions or trades that you want to go over, whether you traded it or not, whether you're just watching it, whether it threw you for a loop or whatever the case may be, just email it over to me, josh@c2trading.com, and we'll begin that right here at noon Eastern. Now, with that, let's also break out our earnings calendar at least, right? Because coming off of last week, we had a bunch to work with. We had, Amazon, we had Google, we had everything that you could name. Outside of these are the ones now this week that are reporting. So we still have some huge names even. This morning, CIFR reported a huge deal, let alone the earnings that they came out this morning with. So we'll get to CIFR in just a bit, actually. But Palantir later on today. Hims and Hers here coming on up this afternoon. Shit, for a Monday, that's actually pretty huge. Let me actually get this thing out the way here for a moment. Just give me a quick second. There we go. All right, so now you should be able to see that there a bit if you're on social media. But Palantir, Hims and Hers, tomorrow morning, Tuesday, we got Uber, we got Shopify, we got Spotify. Don't mix those two up. We got Pfizer. We got Hut, which is a pretty, familiar Bitcoin mining. I think Ethereum also. Ferrari, pretty expensive, but they've been in the news of late. I think some huge, was it Porsche maybe it was? I think it was Porsche ended up reporting some giant year-over-year loss in revenue. So maybe that will parlay into Ferrari. Either way, you got some big names. AMD tomorrow afternoon. Super Microcomputer. Beyond Meat's not a big name, but that's a name, right? Not a big one, but it's a name. It was a pump and dump from last week. We'll get to that if we need to. Mara, McDonald's, Novo, Robinhood, IONQ now, AppLovin now, QBTS. I mean, just a lot of different names. It doesn't need to be large cap. There's my Dutch Bros. I like Dutch Bros now. I'm a big Dutch Bros guy. Finally, they opened up one in Pinellas County, or they will be, I think, just this week. Been building it up the last month or so. In Tampa, the whole Tampa Bay area, Dutch Bros Coffee. Now with that, though, hey, there's some things moving even from this morning, and there were some good trades from just last week, even just on Friday. So let's get to those. We'll go through some of the picks that we had from Friday from Halloween. Then we'll get to some of the movers from this morning. So yeah, pump and dump like the Beyond Meat stock. I mean, hey, just take a look here. Pop up in the morning, it reversed right around that 10:30, the HKD trade, and we know that we've seen this trade before, right? If you're new to our room, then well, be prepared because take a look at this. We ended up trading this stock back. It was in 2018, ended up or 2022. I lose track of my years, pardon me. But stock ended up going from like 20 up to 2,500, right? From 20 up to $2,500 a share. And that's not some reverse stock split. We'll tell you if that's the case. That was a real move. Now, if this stock can make a fraction of that type of move going into a day, we'll take it. You know, if it can make a micro fraction of that move, that's all we're asking for here at this point. So it made a good pop. It reversed right around 10:30, a little bit afterwards, but came right back down. That's not a surprise. So we're done with this trade. If it wants to prove itself to us, it can. We'll also just look at Beyond Meat because we just talked about that being a pop and drop stock like the HKD trade there. So just look what happened, right? Do we need to be staying focused on the same stock, all day, all the time? No. I mean, these stocks typically don't move back up. So if they want to, then they will. They'll prove themselves to us, right? I kind of like put ourselves above these trades. We're above them. Like let them prove themselves to us. So the same to be said for that HKD. That thing is dead, at least for now. If it wants to pop back up, at least later on this morning, I'll be there for it. But we got other fishies out there in the sea to try and reel in, right? MSAI started to prove itself to us a bit from last week, pushed up pretty nicely day over day. I still have some lines in my graph here actually with that. There we go. So, stock went from $1 up to 250 almost. Good move. And then not only that, I think just back from maybe it was no, I guess I'm wrong. Nope. This stock, yeah, this was back from the end of October. So even before it was $1, at least it was like 65, 70 cents a share. That's where it popped from. So really you could say from that point, from like 70 cents up to nearly 250, over 300, nearly 400% move there, right? So that's just where for right now, we'll come back to this trade if we need to. If it's up 22% this morning over Friday, but just remember this big dump off that we had from Friday. So I'm not fully sold on it for today. We'll come back to it if we need to. CTM also, that was one from Friday. It popped up early in the morning there at least and pulled back down. Not as big of a move, more in pre-market. QS, nice run up early in the morning and then even heading into the mid-afternoon, pop back up again. That one we could possibly keep more of an eye on for today. EOSE, this is a U.S. energy storage company. We've done incredibly well on EOS, mainly as a day trade, but we have been calling them out as a swing trade. I can tell you a bunch of swing trades that we have called out for you already. I didn't take this. I didn't take this as a swing trade. I didn't jump in, but we were calling it out, for you. I mean, you could see myself. I'm in on NVIDIA still and on the Soon trade still. And again, we've done well on a litany of different swings that I've taken this year that Fausto's jumped in himself on. I didn't jump in on this one. Wish I did. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But either way, is a good day trade stock as well as a swing trade. So we'll come back to it if we need to. MNOV, that was more from the afternoon, little pop back up, kind of, last breath of life there before, rolled over. CABA, QUBT, all good trends, all good moves from just Friday. And then again, we had some good trades even just from last week altogether, right? We ended up doing pretty good on the Tesla trade. It was the mRNA that we had, the Rigetti, VIAV. That was also one from Thursday, I think it was, that did pretty nicely. Again, the Quantums, as we brought up before, did pretty well. Rigetti from Thursday into this morning. All right, so what we'll do is just go right from top to bottom right now, see what we could add for our watch list for today. Just because it moved on Friday doesn't mean it's going to be a great mover today. The Quantum seem kind of strong. We'll come back to them if we need to. But for right now, let's just go over a couple of the trades from this morning first. We'll see if they're still moving, still worth the while. PHIO, it's up almost 100%, was up over that earlier this morning. It's still kind of holding here, isn't it? So if it wants to go up higher, it needs to at least hold higher lows, if not from this 396 area, Maybe it wicks down first towards 350, then builds back up. But this could have more life to it compared to some of those trades from Friday. I'll add it. I'll add it to our watch list for now. Now, here's the thing, though. For anyone here that's been with CTU for longer than a year, you know that we've traded this stock just back from the beginning of this calendar year. And then, from 2024, I can go back on the weekly and show you all these little pop and drop weeks where it had, right here, right here, right here. All these upwicks show days where it blew out at top and then came right back down. Here you could see it ran all the way into the close of this weekly candle back in 2022 and then came back down the following morning on Monday and then tanked. So yeah, I mean, this is a pop and drop stock, don't get me wrong. I'll put it on our watch list for right now. If it completely dumps back down, then we'll focus on something else there. TGE, good move up earlier today, a little choppy, but still holding higher lows. I don't mind just adding this for right now. Good spread, good order book. All right, what is going on here? Those are iron ETFs, right? IREN. These aren't like public stocks, right? IRE, that's an IREN ETF, right? Yeah. All right. So Iron, I know, had some big news earlier this morning. CIFR had some earnings this morning, but they reported a big deal. We'll get to that in a bit. AREC also popped up just before. We had called this one out earlier today, too. We'll just bring this up here for right now. So AREC announced a $1.4 billion joint partnership with U.S. Department of War to expand ReElement Technologies' domestic rare earth magnet supply. So that alone is obviously some pretty easy news to interpret. Rare earth / metal stocks have been in the news of late and have been pretty volatile for us. Not this one as much, maybe. Maybe we called this out once, perhaps, like it ran up. But we were more focused on the circle. CRML. CRML. This was one that was on our radar a little bit more. The AREC trade was on our radar a little bit more. The TMC was. But you know what? AREC is the one that's got the news this morning. We'll take it. TERN, pharma stock. This thing's flying up right now pretty nicely, up over 30%. Jump right back to the news here. I don't have my coffee in me this morning. I'm misspelling everything. All right, TERN. What do we got here? Looks like some news about a drug. Obviously, they're a pharma company. They announced some drug shows a 64% MMR at 24 weeks in, or 24 weeks in heavily pre-treated CML patients. That's all I got for you here today, folks. I'm a trader. I'm no pharmacist. I'm no chemist. I'm no doctor. I'm a doctor of trading. That's it. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, for that, interpret that news for yourself. But popping up this morning, we'll put it on our list for that reason. CHAR, same deal, pop and drop stock. It definitely in the past has been one back from August time. But hey, it's trying to push back up towards that area again, towards where it was trading back in August. So THAR, I don't mind just putting this on our list as well. This one should have some better liquidity on the book by the time the market opens up. It's got small orders out right now, but the news just came out. So wait till 9:30. I feel like this will fill in a bit more. CIFR came out with news earlier today, too. It was earnings related, I guess. I didn't realize that part of it at the time. But, just to say, CIFR has a $5.5 billion 15-year lease agreement with Amazon Web Services, AWS, to provide 300 megawatts of turnkey space and power for AI workloads. And I'm certainly no Bitcoin miner out there, so there's people in this room that probably know a lot more about that than I do. But there's the news on CIFR. Now, this stock's strong. This stock's breaking all-time highs early this morning, right off of like 21-ish, 22. So easily going to put this on our list here for this morning, and we're going to put it at the top. This one definitely takes top billing for right now. MSAI, we saw this one from earlier before too, going over some of the trades from just Friday. We'll come back to it if we need to. The iron trade popped earlier this morning also. That also had some news with it too. The ETFs are up a lot, so we saw that. Let's just take a look. All right, so, geez, we got a lot of deals going on this morning. Where's my deal? When am I getting $1 billion deal, huh? Iron skyrockets after sealing a $9.7 billion AI cloud deal with Microsoft. All right, fair enough. So IREN going on our watch list, and the ETFs there probably too, as long as they're tradable. I mean, these are this one's less expensive, I guess. IRE. Uh, yeah, I mean, listen, I don't need to trade the ETF. It's cheaper. That's the only reason that you should be trading it if the stock's more expensive than you want it to be. DVLT. I don't know. This thing fell off a cliff, didn't it? From like maybe a week or two back. Yeah, had a huge red candle on Friday, let alone all last week. I mean, just pretty much red all last week. So, we'll come back to it if we need to. Let it prove itself to us a bit more, just because it's up this morning. Let it prove itself further. RANI has been proving itself to us a bit here, right? I mean, at least from Friday, it tried to back up again here today. So this kind of looks like that DVLT chart. Hey, Rani popped on Friday morning and it started to prove itself to us, and we caught it early. So the same could be said for the DVLT. But for right now, I'll put the RANI back on our list. It is making lower highs this morning. So just be careful of that. It needs to hold over like 130-ish, 135 for support. But for right now, we'll kind of put it towards the back of our list. Amazon just popped. Oh, is that the deal with CIFR? CIFR here, right? Amazon? Or is that just new news that just came out right now? New news. I think we got some new news here. More deals. We have more deals with Amazon here. What just happened? Big old pop on Amazon right now. OpenAI announced a multi-year partnership enabling OpenAI to run advanced AI workloads on AWS infrastructure. They announced a $38 billion partnership. What the hell's going on this morning here, guys? Jeez, it is Deal Monday. All right. I'll be negotiating with Fausto for about $5.6 billion later on today. All right, we'll see how far that gets me. All right, let's see what else we got here. SLDP is making a good move this morning. Could add that. CSIQ is making a good move this morning for some of our long time CTU students. You know that we traded that years back. Don't need to put it on our list this morning, but it's trending up nicely. Probably got some Bitcoin mining stocks moving in sympathy with the CIFR deal, with Iron deal also going up pretty nicely. So CLSK is having a good morning. I could add that. Cores, CORZ, is this closer to all-time highs? Yeah, it is at all-time highs. So Cores, I'll put on our list just because that's like the stronger trade of late. You got HUT up a lot today. They have earnings out soon that we saw. Man, there's a lot to work with here for this morning, folks. We don't want to build too big of a watch list already. So what do we got? We got the Amazon ETF there. I should just add that with the Amazon itself. What was it? AMZU? Yeah. All right. I'll add that at least. Bad whistle, but big morning. There we go. All right, let's hop over to the loser side right now. Let's see what else we got here heading into the morning, heading into the 9:30 market open. QURE, this thing fell off a cliff. This is the one, right? This is the one that we traded pretty well back from like a month or two ago. This is the one that came out with some drug, and Martin Shkreli, the pharma bro, was going nuts over it, saying it's going to go up to $500. Well, it made a good move at the time. Good move for what it's worth, but obviously some bad news came out this morning. This thing got obliterated. Interesting trade for that reason. I mean, it's a short for right now, lower highs and wait to see a lower low. But maybe this could be a good slingshot later on into the late morning, early afternoon, that QURE trade. So I'll add that there. Not much else from the loser side here this morning, folks. So let me know if anything else is looking good across the board, up, down, left, right, more than 5% that you'd want me to check out. AREC tanked. Yeah, but it's still holding up, though, nicely. Just, the news came out pretty recent, so I'm going to keep it on our list. And, yeah, we already got that already. Let's see anything else that we haven't called out yet, though, so far, guys. I mean, we got the THAR. That's already on there. MSAI, we said we'd come back to. I mean, the stock's done well for us recently. It's not like the first day that we're seeing it up a little bit. So as long as it holds here, I don't mind putting it on our list now. I like the CIFR a lot more. I like the ARIC a lot more. I like the THAR a lot more. But we'll add it. Hopefully, this could build back up here, right? It's tradable. That's what makes this worth the while. It's got a good spread, got a good order book. You don't want to trade some casino stock on a flat trend like that. At least, hopefully, that has a better chance of going back up. Now, the PHIO dumped all the way back down towards this area that we had said. We said it needed to hold over 396 to 4. Otherwise, we could see it pull back here. So I'm going to keep the PHIO on our watch list. But again, this one, even right now, trending down a bit. Not a big fan of seeing that there. So, this definitely needs to prove itself further for us heading into the market open or afterwards. All right, let me check out Benzinga Pro, folks, and see if there's anything else that we missed. Got that, got that, got that, got that. All right, pretty much it. Amazon, CLSK, we said maybe. Yeah, I didn't add the CLSK trade yet. I think I kind of preferred the Cores CORZ because that's like at all-time highs this morning. But you know what? I like CLSK still. That one's up over 5%. Good trend, good order book. You could say that about a lot of trades this morning, but that's where I'm going to pipe it here and just finish up for right now, folks. I like what we got. We got a pretty good list here for the open. See how far I get on that $5.5 billion negotiation with Fausto later on today. All right, folks, let me pretty that list up, at least for all of us right now inside our live trading room. Just wanted to put that out there early so you had it, but obviously we'll make that pretty imperfect for all of us there otherwise. And for all of us on social media, keep in mind, later on this morning, this afternoon, wherever you may be residing, we have our live workshop inside our live trading room. That's where you get the full service version of it. But inside our YouTube, we're going to be simulcasting as well at 12:05 Eastern. So if you wanted to send over any questions for us right here, just shoot me over a quick email. I had like one private question or private chat come in early. I told my student, hey, please, can you just email me? Because it's going to really help me out. Just go through. I'll have a much better chance of seeing your question and going over it if you email it to me. All right, folks. So email it to me, josh@c2trading.com. We'll be back here at noon shortly afterwards for our live workshop. And then we'll go from there, folks. All right. We'll have Fausto on just for the market open here in just a bit. He just needed me to tag in for the morning meeting. We're going to put out a video coming up shortly. And, that will be on social as well, but be on the lookout inside our live trading room. I'm sure that we'll put that out there soon. Oh, there we go. How about that? Right at the end there. There's our newest video for Instagram on YouTube as well. Just click that link if you're inside our live trading room at least. But we're going to begin to get ready here, folks, for the market open. And we'll talk to everybody soon. Take care.